Hello. So where are my moms at? Yes, where are my moms at? This video is directed for you today. If you are either a mom who is thinking about or contemplating getting their real estate license, or you are a mother who has the real estate license, but you're maybe looking for a little bit more balance in your life, I can't tell you how many times people have reached out, moms just like you, that have said, "Hey, Mariah, I'm thinking about getting my real estate license, but I've got kids at home, young kids at home. I don't want to work every night. I don't want to work every weekend because I want to be with my kids. I have all these sporting events. I've got the stuff that I want to be there for my kids, but I also want to have my own business." So today, this video is directed directly to you about how I have personally made well over 6 figures by not giving up all of my weekends, by not giving up all of my nights as well, and how you can too. And I'm really just going to walk you through the steps that I have personally used to build my business. I've got 4 young kids at home, including twins. And, I'll walk you through the process of what has worked for me and how I honestly think this can work for you too. And let's hop into it right now. Mariah Curla here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your very first time here. I'm a licensed and active real estate agent in both California and in Utah. And this channel is literally everything you need to know about really how to build and scale your business by leveraging the power of social media. If that's of interest to you, consider subscribing down below and make sure you tap that bell for notifications so you are notified every week I drop a new video. I hear from real estate agents like you, moms like you, who are looking to build and scale their business with a baby on their hip or driving carpool. If that is you, I literally hear from moms like you all the time, and I absolutely love it. So if you're wanting to know how I have done that, how I continue to do that, feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, and it would be my pleasure to connect with you. So I am so excited you are here today. I can't tell you how many times I have gotten the question. Now, Mariah, I'm thinking about getting into real estate, or, hey, I know somebody that's in real estate, but I don't want to give up all my nights. I don't want to give up all my weekends. I've got small kids at home, but I really still want to, have my own business. So I've got the flexibility. I want the potential to be able to make, a good living for my family, for my kids, but I want to be there for all of the things. Well, you are in luck, because I was in the exact same position. Years and years ago, I ended up going to college. I got my degrees in education. I got my master's degree in education, and I loved teaching. And I honestly, part of my, reason for going into education was, I've got, I'm going to have all my summers off. I'm going to have my weekends off. I've got my spring breaks, like all the breaks that the kids have, I'm going to have off too. And I obviously love being with kids. I love teaching. I love doing all that. And so really it was a great fit for, many years. But I also realized I didn't account for so many of the different things that didn't give me the flexibility that I wanted. I didn't account for those early morning staff meetings that were going to be at 6:45 in the morning, and I've got 4 kids at home. I didn't equate, I didn't put into, into the equation of the back to school nights, the open houses that are going to be at night. I didn't equate for the tech nights that are going to be at school, or the different trainings that I would be giving or helping others with that would be late at night. I didn't equate for all the paperwork that I would take home and, all the essays that I would be correcting. So really, how does this circle back to real estate and how you can build your real estate business on your own terms? It can be done. I am living proof of it. If you would have told me this, I don't even know how many years ago, I probably would have been like, yeah, all right, Mariah, I've heard these things before. But number one is set your boundaries. I know this sounds so simple, but it really is. Set your boundaries. So everybody's in a different, stage of life where you are with your family, with your kids, all of that. But for me, my kids are all in school now. My oldest is in 7th grade. My youngest, the twins, are in 2nd grade. So I've got that span, right? So all my kids are in full day school. You might have kids that you might still have one at home. It's okay. You can still build a business on your own terms. So number one is setting boundaries. And what I mean by this, here's a perfect example. Yesterday, I'm listing a home and I reached out to my clients and we were going to set up a meeting to chat about, scheduling their home and, when we're going to put it on the market, all those different things, me doing a walkthrough of the home. And so I said, hey, you know what? I've got availability, this week from this time to this time. And guess what? Those times are during the times that my kids are in school. So, hey, you know what? Great. I would love to meet you. I've got availability on, Monday from 10 to 1:30 or from, 10 to 12 or whatever it is. And I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, people will be like, oh, great. You know what? Can we meet at 11 o'clock? Sure. 11 o'clock would be awesome. I am ready to go. I am there on time. I'm there early, right? I even picked up a treat from the local bakery and bring them a loaf of bread on my way. So really set your boundaries, set your time. Now, people have asked me too, well, Mariah, that just doesn't work for everybody. And I said, well, you know what? It may not, but here's the great thing. A lot of times, if it doesn't work out at that point, then you say, oh, you know what? Is there a better time that I can reach you at? Okay, well, maybe it's this time, maybe it's this time, right? And it may not always fall within that window of time when your kids are at school or when you have the access to a babysitter. But I'm telling you, the more you start putting it in place, the more it just kind of becomes your routine and your habits, and it usually works. Now, the second thing people have said is like, well, Mariah, I don't want to be at an open house all weekend long. Well, here's a great tip too that somebody once shared with me in the very beginning. When you have a listing, there are a lot of other real estate agents within each brokerage, within other brokerages that would love to host an open house for you. So I've got 3 listings that are coming up here in the next few weeks. I've got one that does not want any open houses at all. So, okay, great. No open houses for them. I've got one who is thinking about like, you know what? I'd be okay with like one open house, but I don't want it to like continue. Great, fine. I've got my third client who is like, more open houses, the better. Perfect. Okay. So for me, what I have done when I set my boundaries, I hold an open house for 2 hours. None of these like 6-hour open houses. You know what I'm talking about? How some people are literally like, I'm at the open house all day long. No, I'm there for 2 hours. And really, I advertise for it. I put it on social media. I do all the things. We put it on the MLS, but really you're there for 2 hours. Honestly, I try to schedule it around my kids' sporting events, activities for that weekend. So if I know that my kids have a soccer game at 12 o'clock, guess what? I'm going to see if I can schedule that open house from, 10 to 12 or, right before 12. Maybe it's 9:30 to 11:30, whatever it is. Or, hey, you know what? They've got a 9 o'clock game. Perfect. I'll see if I can do the open house from 1 to 3, right? So really, you get to set your boundaries. You are the one who is in charge of that. And then really, present it to them as a great thing. Don't say, well, I've got a soccer game. My kids have a soccer game. And then I have this. Just, hey, you know what? I would love to have an open house or hold an open house for you this weekend. Would 1 to 3 work into your schedule? And if they say, oh, you know what? It doesn't. It's like, okay, great. Is there another time that might work best for you? And so really, setting your boundaries. And once you set your boundaries and once you get real clear with what you're okay with and what you're not, a lot of other things just fall in step. So for me, I do not work. I don't work a lot of weekends. I rarely work at nights either. Sure, I'll have to take a phone call here and there. Sure, I'll have to do, some paperwork or whatnot if I'm coordinating something with my transaction coordinator or whatever. There's stuff that I, will do. But some of those things, which leads me right into number 2, is delegate. Yes, delegate is a huge one. I don't know about you, but when I was a teacher, I had nobody to delegate to. I did not have anybody to say, hey, I know my 3rd graders just wrote these incredible animal reports, but hey, can you grade these for me? Can you, write the comments? Can you, fill out the rubric on how they did? I didn't have that. And I'm sure if you were in education or anything like that, you probably didn't either. Real estate is different. There is a lot of paperwork that you can delegate. I have an assistant, a transaction coordinator. My life, literally, the second I hired a transaction coordinator, my life got so much better. No longer am I up at night, like trying to like put together different, all the different things, because I've got an assistant that is helping me out on that. Delegate open houses. So of course, you're going to want to make sure that you reach out to your clients and say, hey, you know what? I have somebody that maybe you're partnering with, somebody, whatever it is excellent. They would love to hold an open house here. I trust them. They're da-da-da-da. Would you feel comfortable with them holding an open house on Saturday for you? And I haven't had anybody that said, no, whatever, because you've got the relationship with them. They trust you, all of that. So if they want the open house, a lot of times, maybe you do the first one. And if it takes a couple of more, ask them if they are okay with having somebody else. So not only did you just free up your weekend, right? Because you have somebody doing your paperwork, but now you also have somebody holding your open houses. So delegation is key. I'm telling you, you will free up so many hours in your day. You're going to be like, oh my gosh. This leads me right into number 3, which is referrals. Yes, referrals. Okay, so I am super passionate about referrals, and let me tell you why. This happens all the time here in real estate and all over the place. But I ended up 2 weeks ago, I got 2 people who reached out that said, hey, Mariah, I understand that you're a real estate agent in Utah. I would love your help. We're moving here from out of state. So I had one moving, actually both of them were moving here from out of state. And both of the areas that they were looking at, one was from Texas, lovely couple. Another was from Arizona. They were amazing. However, where they were looking at purchasing in Utah was about an hour and a half away from me. As much as I would love to help them find a home, number one, I don't know that area especially well. Like, I've been there, I've driven through, but when it really comes down to the nitty gritty of like knowing the neighborhoods, knowing really all the ins and outs, and kind of having that like local perspective, I'm really not the best fit for them. And number 2, the time that I would be spending driving back and forth looking, helping them trying to purchase a home there is really just, when I'm protecting my time with my family, I really need to kind of look at the cost analysis of this, right? So for that, I've got a great agent that lives in that neighborhood, grew up in that area, knows the city, knows the ins and outs. Gave her a call. I said, hey, you know what? I had actually 2 people reach out within the last week. They're looking for an experienced agent that lives in the area. Would you be willing to, do a referral on this? And she goes, oh my gosh, I would love to, right? So not only did I just put this, these 2 couples in connection with an incredible real estate agent there that will do a phenomenal job because she's experienced, she knows the area, all of that. But I just freed up my weekends. I just freed up my nights. I just freed up a bunch of time simply because I gave the referral. Most real estate agents, when you do a referral, you get 25% of the deal. Sometimes some will give 30, some 35, but generally average is 25% of that purchase price. So and this is how it works too. So if, let's just say for even numbers, they found a house at $500,000, and let's say here in Utah, it's a 3% commission. So off of that 3% commission, you get 25% of that 3% commission. So I'm earning money for connecting them to somebody who knows that area. I just freed up a bunch of my time and I'm getting paid on the deal. Does that make sense? I mean, how cool is that? I remember when I first got into the business and I thought, sure, I'll drive here and I'll drive here. No, I'd rather be on the soccer field cheering my kids on while I'm doing that, I'm still getting paid for giving the referral once it closes, of course. But once that house closes, I still earn money on the deal from being the connector. So I can't say it loud enough, but delegate, referrals, set those good boundaries. I'm telling you, it will completely change the trajectory of your business. And last but not least, number 4, self-care. Yep, self-care. I'm going to tell you, when I had 4 kids, ages 4 and under. Yes, 4 kids, ages 4 and under. It was bananas for a little bit. I'll be perfectly honest. We had 1 kid, then 3 years later, we had another, and then we ended up with surprise twins. Yes, huge blessing, but surprise twins. And honestly, there were days in the beginning where I just remember thinking I'm never going to get off the couch because I'm just nursing all day long. There are going to be chapters of your life where you just have to embrace it and you just go, you know what? I am in this moment at this time. I have lessons to learn. I'm not sure what maybe they are at that specific time, but taking care of yourself. Really, and for me, honestly, a big part of it is moving my body. I exercise every single day. I remember when I had the twins, I had just had a C-section, probably too much information. I mean, it was hard for me to just get from one place to the next, and I've got these 2 babies and I've got 2 other little ones, right? It literally felt like there were days where I'm like, ooh, right? But I would go outside every single day, even if it was just for my mom was at home watching the kids. And some days my exercise was literally 10 minutes walking down to the side, on the sidewalk, down as far as I could, and coming back to the house, getting fresh air, mentally just kind of regrouping. Move your body and take care of yourself. Number 2, going along with that self-care piece is really, what are you filling your mind and body with, right? What, are you listening to inspirational podcasts? Are you reading uplifting books? Are you listening to inspiring music? What are you filling what are you filling your brain with? What are you filling your body, your heart, your spirit, your soul with? And those things will give you the fuel that you will need to in turn help serve and help love on your clients and your people, because you are able to take care of yourself. So if you're able to move your body, and you know what, for me, I've found, and I know motherhood is a busy, busy time, and our kids are, they're kids, they're demanding, they have a lot of needs. And for me, I set my alarm a couple hours before my kids get up, so that I have time to exercise, so that I have time to read, so that I have time to do my journaling. So I have time to take care of myself, so that by the time I go wake them up in the morning, I'm all, I can give 110% because I've already taken the time for me. I have to go to bed a little bit earlier because I want to wake up earlier and I want to give myself that gift of time. So hopefully these things, and again, if you're like, oh my gosh, Mariah, like that would be awesome in a perfect world, it takes time. It didn't happen overnight, but by showing up, by giving yourself these gifts as a mother, you can maintain a very healthy relationship with, your real estate business and your family by, really doing the things that we talked about today. And hopefully this gives you a little snapshot of different things that have helped me in my real estate business that have in turn, allowed me a lot of financial freedom and have allowed me a lot of time freedom and a lot of time with my kids, with my family, still juggling and maintaining both. Again, if you are looking to build, to scale your business the modern way by leveraging the power of social media, all my tools, all my trainings, everything is free. If you are looking to partner, feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, and it would be my absolute pleasure to connect with you. Take care and have a great one. Bye.